Hello everybody, my name is Alan, I'm from Sauber-Lab and today will be another video about Synology NAS. But not only Synology NAS, we're gonna have another video about backups. And now you start to ask me, why so many videos about backup? And it's really simple, I want you to fulfill the rule 3-2-1. It means that you need to have at least 2 copies local and 1 copy off-site. And in this case, we're gonna show how you can do a copy off-site using Rsync plus a VPN. And in this way you can have your system connect for another system anywhere in the world. And you're gonna ask me, Alan, why Rsync? Rsync can run in OpenMediaValt, Rsync can run in TrueNAS, can run in most of open system and most of systems that run for NAS. So in this way you can have either a Raspberry Pi, an old laptop, an old computer running OpenMediaValt, and with this system you can backup your Synology NAS. In this way you can save money using something that you already have, or maybe using something that's it's quite cheap compared for other options. So if you like this idea and want to learn a little bit more about it, we're gonna show in this video, but first of all, don't forget to leave your like, consider just subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and let's understand a little bit more about it. Before we start to explain what you need to do, I will explain what you need to have in place to make this system work in the correct way. So first thing, I have here in my screen my Synology NAS. Here my Synology NAS is running the latest DSM, and here I have my OpenMediaValt. This OpenMediaValt it's running in a virtual machine, but potentially I could use any system that I want. I could use in a old laptop, old computer, even Raspberry Pi, and this will work exactly the same way. Other thing that you need to have in the system, if you come here in my storage and come here in file system, I need to have at least 2 storage. The first one will be where all the operating system will be installed. Don't do anything in this system, because if your operating system fail, because it will run more often, your backup could lost. So don't use the same storage for your system and same storage for your backups. Other thing, I have already a second hard drive. It's a virtual hard drive, but potentially could be a USB that I connect there, and I format in my case for BTFS. You can format any format system that you want, but BTFS will be the one that I prefer. I prefer more than X24, so normally I do and choose these options. Other thing that you need to have, it's in my share folder, you need to have your folder called backup. This folder called backup will be the folder that will save all the information that you want to backup. So now you have your file system and now you have your share folders. Next thing that you need to do is create a user that will have access for this backup. In my case, I come here in my user, and I create a user called Rsync. This user will be responsible to do the Rsync, therefore he will be the only one that will have access for this backup. So if I come here in backup, come here in permissions, he will be the only one that will be able to read and write, and all the rest of the users will have no access. This because I want to guarantee that all my data is safe, and if someone tries to access it, will not be able to do it. So only Rsync user will be able to do this access. Other thing that I need to have, if I come here in my service, in my Rsync, I have my server, and here in server, I come here in settings and activate this Rsync with the port 873. Other thing that I needed to create is a module, and here in module, if I come here, settings, I create a module directly from my share folder called backup. I create a name of this module, backup. I could create any name that I want. I could be for specific users, look like alpha Synology, that will be for this Synology. If I want to do backup for another system, will be beta Synology, and continue on. So I create only backup because it's easy for me. Other thing, I create a user or define a user only for Rsync. I could create more users or others groups, but remember, all the users that you define to have access in this module need to have access in that folder, otherwise you will not be able to write in that folder. So have this one in mind. So if I come here, other thing that I create is authentication user. In this way I need my user and my password in order to access my module. Have this one in mind, I can come here, because I didn't modify anything, I can leave it this way. And now will come the second step. If I want to do a local backup, I can stop in this configuration and go back for my Synology, but I want to be able to do backup anywhere that I want. Therefore, I need to have my VPN configured. I can choose any kind of VPN that I want, but in my case I will choose Telescale. Why Telescale? Because Synology allowed you to use this application right in the library. You don't need to use Docker for it, so it will be much easier. So if I come here, Telescale, I can use the Telescale straight away. So this reason that I'm gonna use Telescale in my OpenMediaValt. To install Telescale, I need to have a Docker install. And to have Docker install, I need to have my OpenMediaValt extras and I need to have in service my compose. Here my compose already installed Portainer because I prefer to use this system. So I have here my Portainer. If you don't know how to install Docker in the new update revision for the OpenMediaValt, please leave your comment there and that I will post a video how you can do it. So anyway, here it's my Portainer. If I come here in dashboard, I have only one container and this container it's only the Portainer. Now I need to start to configure the rest. Before I start to configure the rest, what I need to do, I need to come here in my Telescale, and here because I already configured alpha, I don't need to do anything, but I need to create a key. So I come here in settings, I come here in key, and I will need to generate a key. In my case, the key that I will generate will call OMV, so it's here the key. I can use more than one device. Now I only want to configure it one time and that they will not work for anything else. And the expire date will be 90 days and I put generate. Now I have my key, but before I get my key, I will come here in the Docker. Here in the Docker Hub, I'm looking for the Telescale and I have three options to install it. The first one, I can only run this one, the Docker. Second one, I can run these options. And the third one will be the one that I want to install. Why this third one? Because they already have this option for TS authentication, so I don't need to do so many extra configurations. So I come here, copy this information, and I open a new notepad. Here in my notepad, I will paste this information and I need to look for this TSC. So if you remember, we generate already the key. So if I come here back in my Telescale, and come here my key and copy this key is exactly the same as that key, but that key it's only show off, don't bring for anywhere. So I come here, select everything after the equal until before the space and I overwrite it. Now I have my key, I can copy this information and I need to open PuTTY. To open PuTTY it's quite easy, only to use your IP address. In my case will be exactly the same 192.168.1.91 and here already connect as a root. I come here, paste this information, put enter. If appear this specific code, it means that has been installed, so we can check if installed and it's working. So now I can minimize it, close it and come here back in my Portainer. Here in my Portainer, if you see already appear Telescale. If I open my Telescale, I need to configure it to change my policy. If I go a little bit down, here my policy it's none. I'll put unless stop. Otherwise, if my system restart, they will not restart my Telescale and I don't want to happen it. So now my Telescale is configured. I can come here in my key, close this one because I already use it, they already disappear. I can come here in my machines and here will be my machines. If I leave this way, my machine won't restart, they will stop to work this Telescale, so I'll come here and put disable expire date. So in this way, my system will be forever working with the same key. So now I have my OpenMediaValt installed using this IP address and I have my alpha with Telescale installed. So now what I can do, I can go for my Synology and here I can start to configure it. Before you ask, only thing that I did for my Telescale, I installed this application and open it and that they already appear this information and that's only connect. Because I already connect, they already appear my IP address and they say alpha and the revision of DSM that I'm using. So now I can start to configure my hyper backup? No. You know why? Because as a standard, Synology will block the Telescale. If I come here and try to run this hyper backup, they will not work. And then I look for the website for Telescale and that they explain that after DSM 7, they basically block everything, and that you need to do some extra task. The task that you need to run will be trigger task, you need to use root, and you need to have a task running this information. So what I do, I come here and copy this information, and I come here in my Synology, search, and search for task. Here I can come task, and I select the task, and here I can create a task. Because I already create task, then I can come here and put edit. One thing that you need to do is define the name. In my case, I leave as a task 10. Other thing I need to select as a root. If I select any other user, will not work, so root. Here schedule, I can make it daily to work, or I can define ones that my system restart. I suggest to run it daily, and that every day will be running this application. I can come here for task, and I come and use this information. Use define, only copy that information here, and paste exactly the same, and then it's done. How I know that it's done? If I come here and put run, I ask, you want to run? I put yes. I can enable this task, apply it as well. And now if I select the task, put actions and put view results, if they appear current status as normal, it means that's working. If appear anything else, it means that's not working the way that I expect. So have this one in mind. Now I can close it, I can close, and now I can start to configure my backup. To do it, I need to open my Hyper Backup, and will appear these three options. If I want to backup all my system, I will select this second option. If I want to backup my loans, I will select here. But in my case, to be fast, I want to select folders in backup, put next. And now I select what kind of backup that I want. I go all the way down and select Rsync and put next. I can select multiples or single. What I suggest you to put multiples, because single it's normally focused only for a hard drive. You connect this, make a backup, take out the hard drive, put it in some corner and forget it. Because we are using server to server, we want to make multiple backups and have multiple revisions for it. Anyway, you can leave your computer on exactly the time that you're gonna do the backup and turn off after this. So it's interesting to have multiple backup. I put next, and here I needed to create my task. Because I'm not using Synology NAS, the second computer, I needed to come here in Synology compatible server. Here I will put my IP address, but I will not put my local IP address. This IP address for my OpenMediaValt I'm not gonna use. I will come here and I use exactly the same IP address as my OpenMediaValt, and exactly the same IP address given by Tailscale. So I'll click here and I put copy. Now I can come here back in my Synology NAS and I paste this information. Because I use the port 873, I will use exactly the same port, and I will make my login using my Rsync, put my password and click here. They already appear as option backup, so we'll click backup, and that they will appear in the directory. Because I already did the backup at least 2 or 3 times, showing how I can do it, so now they will appear alpha form. Now I can put next, and I can select which folder I want to backup. If I come here, active backup, I put next, select the applications. I suggest you to select all the applications that you want, or at least all, only to be safe. Put next, and now will be the name of the task and how often I want to do this task. You can leave Rsync server, I can enable file change log, and here I will select how often I want to do backup. I suggest you do at least once a week. But if you want to do a daily, it's totally fine. Only define what time that you want to do the backup. And I suggest you to define the time that you're gonna check the integrity of this backup. If you don't check this integrity and any file has been corrupted, potentially you're gonna lose your data and you don't want to do it. So leave this option, either that will consume a little bit more power, you need to check it to confirm that's working. Now we're gonna put next. And now enable rotation. As a standard, they come with early revision that will allow you 9 months if you define 256. If you want to have more revisions and less revisions, here you can define, but what I suggest you is to select the Smart Recycling. This Smart Recycling will give this policy for you. 1 every 24 hours, 1 per day in a month, after this one, once a week, after 1 month. So in this way, instead of having 9 months of data, you're gonna have 4 years of data. If you need backup every day, then this will not work, but if you want the longest time of backup, this one will be the best one. So I can put next, and once that appears this option, I can put done, and that's I'll wait a little bit for them to configure. Once they configure, they will ask me to do the backup. I can put yes, and in this way they will start to do backup. So in this way we arrive at the end of this video, and in this way you know how to do backup, use a VPN plus Rsync. With this VPN you can connect anywhere that you want in the world, and that they will do the backup in the same way and will guarantee that your data is safe. One thing good for Tailscale, you don't need to do any port forwarding or any other extra configuration. So you don't need to worry to open any port different for Synology drive to Synology drive. You can go anywhere that you want, and because this IP address will be dedicated for your specific machine, anywhere that you connect, they will have the same IP address, so you configure it and you can move your Synology for anywhere that you want. So you guys, if you like this video, if you think that was interesting, please don't forget to leave your like, consider to subscribe for the channel if you're not subscribed yet, and see you next time. Bye.